going on, Blazers back? Welcome back to the episode of Top Drives. Now, epics. They are some of the most coveted cars in Top Drives, mainly because they kind of have that balance of like really high tier performance, but also at the same time, they're not too expensive to fully upgrade. Now, obviously, I mean that in a relative term. If you are free to play, these are going to be very expensive to upgrade, but they're not as hard as the legendaries, right? For example, on Gawom's, my free to play account, I have like, I think 3 or 4, at least 3 fully upgraded epics, right? I've got the Ultima, I've got the Subaru WRX, the Cosworth, I have the Spiker, and there might be one more car in there. So it is possible, right? So the thing about epics is that they kind of have that balance of that fine line of, you know, just high tier performance. Well, they're supposed to have high tier performance, but some of them really do not. Or, you know, they're just good enough to beat some ultras in the game, but also at the same time, they're not completely impossible to fully upgrade. For example, I have 33 fully upgraded legendaries, but at the same time I have 241 fully upgraded epics, right? So for every, I mean, you can do the math, 241 divided by 33, I don't know what that number is, but I guess it's kind of like, oh, in every 5 epics you have 1 max legend. I don't know the numbers, you know, you can do the math if you want to, but today, I want to talk about the epics, okay? Every single fully upgraded epic I have, which are the ones that have kind of withstood the test of time, which are the ones that are kind of useless, which are the ones I fully upgraded for a tri-series and never touched again, and one of the ones that, you know, were passion projects. So, like I said earlier on, 241 fully upgraded epics. I'm going to take you guys on a tour. You can think of this as like a garage tour, but it's just a segmented part of just the epic collection. So, let's start off with the Jerry's. Now, as far as I know, there are not many RQ65s which I fully upgraded as straight up RQ65s. Most of the cars that you see here used to be of a different higher RQ, but have gone down because of overinflation, or I guess underinflation in this respect. Like, you know, with every single car correction update or a car RQ correction update, more cars kind of just drop down in RQ, right? So, for example, Volvo XC40 RQ65 now. When I fully upgraded this, I think it was like 69. This is for the Viper GTSR Final. Completely useless. So bad now. I don't use it anymore. It was good at one point because it was light. But that was all it had going for it. You know, 485 races in 1,804 days. Actually, everything you see here is for a tri-series or some kind of GT challenge. This was a tri-series. I don't even remember what they were for anymore. These two, same one, Apollo Intenza Emozione. I remember that one. Opel Corsa, I fully upgraded this because I knew it was going to be really good. And to be fair, it is. It is still very useful for me. It was the best option to use for front-wheel drive off-road until whatever update released the Citroen Zara. I think it's European New Wave, maybe. That being said, I don't have the Citroen Zara. So until today, the Opel Corsa is still one of the best cars I can use for front-wheel drive off-road. A lot of races, as you can see. 5,409 races. This one as well. This one I kind of fluffed. Honestly, I decided to go, you know, a little bit radical, you know, thinking outside the box, hoping that a 233 might bring some value. It really doesn't. This has significantly less races, but the win ratio is still pretty decent. The Aria. Oh man, this one I did max as a 65, and it was for a pretty good prize car, if I remember correctly. I had to max it. I forgot what the prize car was, but I do remember it being pretty decent. I used it for the final, and that was it. Same thing for the, okay, Honda Civic Type Rs I have used outside of the final that I needed it for, so that was a little bit better. But yeah, the Aria, man, this is a definition of like forcing me to max an epic for one, you know, event and then never touching it again. Honestly, I forget that I own this one. Pajero, same thing. This one really pisses me off because this used to be an ultra rare. It got buffed up to an epic with 85 handling back then. And then like I didn't think it was very good. But I had to fully upgrade it for, I think it was a tri-series. Had to be. Always has to be. And then I maxed it, used it for the tri-series, and then they cut it, and they made it even worse. So what I'm trying to say, and I ranted about this before, is that this right now, fully upgraded, performs worse than how it used to perform as an ultra rare, and now it is an epic. This one sucks. Look, I'm just waiting for the day that goes back down to ultra rare. I get my tokens back. Great. Because I need my tokens back on this car. I maxed it as an epic, and it wasn't fun, man. That was not fun. Yeah, most of these cars were because I had to. This one I will always remember. Bugatti Chiron Sports, right? I was up 36 hours straight, if you didn't know. Played every single ticket, and I got by with the skin of my teeth, or the teeth of my skin, or whatever you want to call it, okay? So over here, as you can see, 868 races, and I'm pretty sure more than half of them, okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't think I did 400 races in the final alone, but I did a lot. I did an absolute crap ton, at least 250. At least a quarter of the races were done from that Bugatti Chiron Sport final. It hasn't been the most useful thing in the world afterwards, but it definitely isn't collecting dust. I use it once in a while if I want to beat, like, I don't know. I don't even know if it beats a Zenith. I honestly don't know if it beats a Zenith. I really do not. But it does beat some of the Ultra Lotuses, so I can use it if I want to save a little bit of RQ. SVT Mustang Cobra R, I mean, it's a really cool car, and it was really good in the beginning of American Frontier, but I've not used it for like the last 2 years. 499 races, win ratio 73%. I've had it for many, many years at this point, almost 4 years maybe. Okay, so out of everything that you see here, pretty useless, but the 7 Series. This is the first car where I'm just like, yeah, this thing is good. In terms of cars that are, you know, really, really good on the replayability end of things, the BMW 7 Series is wonderful. I love this thing. I use it 2 times a month, every month, because of, I believe it's the rear-wheel drive standard tire daily, or it might just be a standard tire daily, or it's like a 5-seater plus daily, whatever it is. This thing is fantastic for the drags because you cannot use the Maybach. So because you can't use the Maybach, this is the second best option, and this is just wonderful. The MRA is fantastic, the top speed is high, it is slightly better than the Ultra version. It used to be classified as like an RQ70 I think it was, dropped down to 66. It's great. I love it. This thing is great. Honestly, I have it drag spec as well, and I wouldn't have it any other way. If you own the 7 Series, there's only one way to go, drag spec. I know it doesn't seem like a drag spec car, but it will be really, really good for you 2 times a month in a daily. 507 races, that's fine. Look at the win ratio. Look at the win ratio on this thing. I use it on dailies only, and it's got a better win ratio than some of my legendaries. This thing, honestly, I want to say, probably one of my most useless upgrades to date. Okay, you look at some of the Jerrys down here, like the Subarus. Yeah, they're bad and all, but they won me a prize car, or at least I use it for a prize car. The freaking Mitsuoka Buddy. The most useless. How many races do you have, my friend? 54 races, and most of, not all of them, are pity races, okay? Because for the entirety of Asia Pacific Revival, this thing was useless. There was no APR final that had off-road. And even if they had it, there was a better option to use. You're never going to see a Mitsuoka event. You will see Japanese events, but you will never see a Mitsuoka event. So even if there's a Japanese event, it's off-road. There are better cars for you to use. All those Mitsubishis, for example. I really don't know why I fully upgraded. I know why I fully upgraded. I was in Japan. I unpacked this when I was in Japan, and I was like, it's pretty cool. This is a car that you don't see anywhere else but in Japan. It would be cool if I fully upgraded this car while I was in Japan, and it feels like I'm part of the culture there. Oh, dude, this thing was useless. Until today, I've never needed it for anything, any kind of challenge, any kind of event, tri-series, whatever, useless. I'm still waiting for the day we get Style Icon 5 times in clubs. You know, I feel like that's the only time. Style Icon 5 times in clubs, then this would be useful for the off-road track sets. If not, completely and utterly useless. Mercedes C112 got a lot of use recently. I believe it was Legrand's collection or Harriet's collection, one or the other. So it was very useful there, so that's great. Honestly, one of the better RQ67s, high top speed, high MRA, high handling. Honestly, pretty damn good car. CC4 was good in the beginning of American Overdrive. Camaro was pretty good for American Dream. Honestly, I still use it till this day. And honestly, it's one of the few cars, even of low RQ, I would say that it's kind of withstood the test of time. It's actually been a better use for me than the hardtop version, the non-convertible version. And the main reason is, whenever you get a convertible event, this is one of those really decent, you know, epics that you want to save RQ. Like, it's enough to beat Ultra Rares in a convertible event, but also it saves RQ where you can use a better legendary. So this thing, surprisingly, I get a decent amount of use of it, time in and time out. Whenever there's a convertible event, I tend to use that Z01 convertible because it beats the Ultra Rares that you can use at the same time. So that was not too bad. This was for a tri-series, HDI FAP, Peugeot, I believe. Oh no, we've gone all the way down. Where is it? There. So here we go. Defender alongside that Lotus helped me with the Chiron Sport, so that was great. This was also for a tri-series, but I forgot what. These two, completely useless, honestly. I maxed both of them for the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 1 final. and I didn't win it, right? So I had this max, I had this max, I had this max, all three didn't win the prize car, whatever, you know. I didn't think too much about it because the prize car wasn't too good, and I was thinking, okay, at least like I'll have max epics from the new update that'll be useful for like, you know, special challenges or anything like that. But they honestly haven't been that great for me. 76 races in this one, and then this one is like 101 races. I mean, they've got more races than days, but time will tell, you know, to see if they really upkeep their usefulness. I really don't think so. I could be making this video in like 500 days from now. And I don't think the LP would have gotten a lot of races. You know, I might be wrong. You know, French events, they handle pretty well. They save a little bit of RQ, but having two of them, I don't know, man. That hurts, to be honest. Like, I've got the most recent updates, right? They've given you a bunch of low RQ epics, and then you've needed to upgrade multiple of them. Another example is the Honda Civic. So I've got two of those. I know a lot of people, by the way, with Aria, like multiple Arias. Actually, is mine drag spec? No, it's not. But I know people out there that have drag spec Arias, and I promise you, they probably never use them ever again after that Tri-Series. So yeah, it really do be like that. Stelvio, I get a decent amount of use out of this, surprisingly. It beats out all of the RQ64 Ultra Rares, and that's all I use it for. Beats out like the Skoda, beats out the BMW X5s or X7s or whatever they are, so they're not too bad. GT70 gets a lot of use in like the 1960s to 1974. I think it's 69 to 74 daily. So pretty good in that regard. Hold in HSV, as you saw me use it yesterday. Anytime you need like an Australian, you get an Australian event. These cars are relatively useful. The Auto Union, one of the greatest epics in the game, one of the greatest Audis in the game, if not the most useful Audi in the game. 538 races, 60% win ratio. I do not care. The win ratio doesn't reflect this car very well because this thing draws all the time with itself. Or it loses by 50 to like Hennessy's and Koenigsegg's and stuff like that, and you save so much RQ in doing so. This thing is absolutely wonderful. I love this car. So good. RCT makes me mad. This used to be like an RQ65, and obviously with the dragster overinflation that happened with the most recent car correction change, this went up to 70, does not perform like a 70. This thing is bad. This thing is very bad. To give you some context, the Dodge Charger Juice used to be RQ70, now it's RQ74. This thing doesn't get a lot of use. 669 races, more than double the days, 77% win ratio. Again, I maxed it for a Tri-Series. I didn't use it that much again. I think it was qualified for one of the boss challenges and also Christmas collection, but aside from that, if it isn't a special tag challenge, you don't use this car often. Also, the photo on this thing is terrible. I love this car. You know, it is based off the platform of the Porsche 964. I love it, but come on, man, give it a better photo, for the love of God, please. Then I would appreciate it a little bit more. It is drag spec. We've got the 911 GT3 RS. You know, this is my favorite GT3 RS of all time because the 996 is my favorite generation. This is a jaw-dropping car. I don't use it too much, but you know, it definitely was a passion project. The Quartz was absolutely useless for me. I think it was useful in the most recent, like the BMW M8 GTE. What was it called? The Grand Prix, whatever it is, right? The GTE. I don't know what they called that series, but this thing was utterly useless, honestly. It is a special tag challenge kind of car, very situational uses. Only if you need a high ground clearance maybe, or something that fits within its tag, which is like SUV body style, it might be useful. But if it isn't falling under those very niche circumstances, the Quartz is actually kind of useless. The XKR, God, don't use it much. TCR is pretty decent. Volante brings me back to the beginning of Great Exhibition, because I was really going on that Aston Martin hype train. Problem was, Aston Martin really died down. You don't see a lot of Aston Martin events. Actually, you never see Aston Martin events anymore. Most of the time, Aston Martin is jumbled up with other brands, like, you know, Great Exhibition brands. So Aston Martin, but then it's going to be Lotus, or Aston Martin and there's going to be McLaren. And the problem is the top end for Aston Martin is really bad, right? It's just a DBS Superleggera at this point. There used to be a lot more legendaries back then, but now it's just a DBS Superleggera, I believe, and the Superleggera Volante, and they're both like RQ80s or 81, so not that great. Aston Martin needs a revamp. You know, there are a lot of great cars out there, like the Victor, for example, or the Valkyrie. Aston Martin definitely needs a revamp. If they're bringing in F1 cars now, you know, they brought in the F1 cars for Renault, bring in the F1 cars for this as well. You know, bring Lance Stroll to the game, you know, for the meme. We got the Caterham 270. This was, you know, until today, it's still one of the greatest epics I've got. It used to be an Ultra, but it doesn't matter. This thing is just ridiculous. It's so good. The 208 T16. After so many years, I think after 4 years of owning this car, I finally fully upgraded it for some kind of challenge or some kind of event. And it was relatively useful for me. It is still a very good car. I would say that it has withstood the test of time. Until today, we don't have a lot of epics that are four-wheel drive, stick tires, but also like really good in terms of the handling department. I mean, this basically is a rear-wheel drive stick tire car in terms of like, you know, how light it is, how well it performs, how great the handling is. But it's one of those rare four-wheel drive stick tire cars. There are not many of them in Top Drive, so that's kind of great. This was a passion project that also coincided with Harriet's collection. It was good for me in Harriet. This was my best Harriet collection epic. That's how bad Harriet's collection was for me. I didn't have a lot of good Harriet's collection cars. This was my best one. It was an RQ71, and obviously it is inflated in terms of RQ because it's medium ground clearance. But I love it. You know, I maxed it. You know, it's about time I fully upgraded every Mercedes in the game. The bulk of my passion projects are going to be Mercs, and the C63 is one of them. It's a fantastic car. I love it in real life. And yeah, really happy to have that fully upgraded. Some really good specialist cars, as you can see, the Primera, the Exige, the Emerge, the G56, all of these are great. So here you go. The Camaro ZL1 did not withstand the test of time as good as the convertible version. And there was a time when this and the convertible version were the same RQ. I think they were like RQ24. In the beginning of American Dream. But yeah, honestly, this one doesn't get as much use. The other one, the convertible version, I use it all the time in convertible events whenever they show up. This one I never use anymore, which is a little bit sad. But you know, I did use it a lot in the beginning of American Dream, because the thing about American Dream was that it was a bunch of Dodges and they had the Camaro ZL1, and the ZL1 handled better than the Dodges, right? So you could use it then, but obviously I used it a lot back then because these were one of the first cars I got in American Dream back in like 2018, right? That was before I got all the Vipers. When you get the Vipers, you don't need this car anymore, so it is what it is. The cruise touring car, this thing is pretty damn good. MRA is good, handling is great. Use it 261 times, 87% win ratio. The Camaro Z28, this is an OG. Let's see how old this is now. This is straight from the campaign, right? This is 2017 that we're talking about over here, okay? How old is this car? 2,867 days old. Yeah, this car has gone through a lot, right? This was straight from the campaign. It was drag spec even. I used to use this in my daily hand all the time back in 2017. It's good. I got a second one. This was 323, so this wasn't any better. This wasn't any better. I was hoping Chevy packs at the time. This is also very old, 2813. I think I was trying to get I believe it was the Corvette Z06, or it was a ZR1. I think it was a Z06 for the final. I didn't win it, even though I had two of these Camaros fully upgraded, probably because I didn't have a 233 variant. V12 Zagato, again, this came from the hype of Great Exhibition and the Aston Martin stuff. Love that car to death. This one, same thing, right? Aston Martin hype. I maxed a lot of Aston Martins at the beginning of Great Exhibition, and honestly, I don't use these cars way too much anymore. 487 races in almost 2,000 days. Yeah. We got the Alpine A110 Rally. I'm still itching to use this car in clubs. You know what? I don't play clubs as much as I used to, so like, maybe I've already missed, you know, one or two really good opportunities for this car to really shine in, and that's on me. That's a personal problem. But I'm glad to have maxed it out, because anytime you get all-surface tires in clubs, if I'm playing, this car is going to be so good. Again, I've not used it much. Only 2 times. I get it. I've not used it much. Like I said, that's a personal problem. That's on me. I've not played a lot of clubs since French Riviera, right? So, obviously the French Riviera cars are not going to get too much use. Aria, again, Tri-Series final. Bluebird was so good at one point. Got its handling cut. Used to be 83. Now it's 81. Corn remembers the good days. I remember the good days too. The CLA, max this one because this is Giselle's car. Hers is not the shooting brake version, but they don't have the regular saloon version in the game. So, yeah, Max is just because, you know, it's Giselle's car, so it's cool. And then obviously the E63, right? Max is because it's my car. Again, it's not really my car because I don't have the AMG E63. But the problem is, Top Drives doesn't have, they haven't licensed the E250. And that's what I'm saying. I want a Mercedes revamp. I want a Mercedes. There's so many cars from the brand that they can add. They have the E220 Blue Tech, but that also isn't my car because that's the estate, and that also is a diesel. Mine is a saloon, and mine is gas. It's an inline 4. So yes, this is like the closest thing to my car right now. So I will take it. The E63S. It is the W212. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful machine, right? It is also the facelift version, and my car is the facelift version. It's not the whatchamacallit, the pre-facelift. So yeah. We got the AMG G63, you know, got a bunch of marks over here, so that makes me feel pretty good. All of these were passion projects, by the way, every single one of them. This was Giselle, this was me, and this is because it's a G-Wagon, and it's freaking cool. Lancia 037 used to be an Ultra, it doesn't matter. This thing's one of the few Ultras, and I should make a video about that. Ultras that went up to Epic that deserve to be Epic, because not all of them, I believe, deserve to be Epic, right? Here are, this is, I see this entire scene, I'm just like, yep, I was forced to max every single one of them besides the BMW M3 GTS and the RS3 LMS. Everything else was forced to upgrade for some kind of challenge, right? Including the Holden HSV, which was for the Sauber C9. Yeah, man, I mean, it makes sense, right? They're all Audis, so I had to max everything here. Tri-Series, 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 This was Viper GTSR, right? This was something. I don't even remember some of the newer ones anymore. I remember the ones where it was like, you know, where I went to war. Those really hard-fought ones. This one, yeah, I don't remember what it was for. I feel like it was for the Renault Espace F1. I feel like it was for that. Because what I remember was that for the C40 Recharge, I maxed it drag spec by it, right? Yeah, drag spec, so it's a bit cursed that way. I didn't win the prize car, but I was like, whatever. We'll max it anyway, you know, for the meme. This was for the Polo Intensa Emozione. That was pretty good. Double 911 GT2. Love that car. It was half passion project, but it was also useful. There was a stage in Top Drives in the beginning of 2021 and towards the end of 2020 where almost every Tri-Series requirement was just 2,000 cars or cars from the 2000s. So the 911 GT2 was very useful at the time. I hate this car. I love it, but I hate it. I mean, I talk about it every time I see this car. Someone told me that 323 was the best way to do it, and I believed him. Yeah, that's the last time that I'm taking anybody else's advice, honestly. That who isn't a better player than I am. If you're a better player than I am, I'll take your advice. But honestly, this person did not have a better garage than me. I kind of just like, you know, it was just trust. And yeah, big waste of time. Big waste of time. This thing is terrible at 323. It will always lose to the 233 version, and I just hate using it. This one is one of my most recent max outs. It's the Lotus Motorsport Elise. Kind of a passion project. Mainly because I like to collect cars and max cars from 1999, because that was the year that I was born in. So, you know, I just love the year. 34101, it is a very lightweight car, upgraded 233. As always, if you have any questions of any of these epics, let me know down in the comments below. I'll probably come around and answer it. Super light, 675 kilograms, incredibly light. We got the Ford Focus RS. Again, a lot of these things were, oh, actually no, not Tri-Series, just these two Vipers. These two Vipers were Tri-Series. This was Legrand's, had to max it for Legrand's. I'm actually using it again now, which is pretty nice. So Legrand is over, but I'm using it again now for the concept event, because you need to use medium ground clearance stuff. So yeah, the Buick Electro was pretty good there. BMW 740D, this was great. One of my oldest epics. The first epic I ever pulled from a ceramic pack, by the way. This one, yeah, 2,826 days old. I've used it 3,369 times. It was useful, I believe, in multiple challenges. I think there were some special tag challenges where this car was useful in, but that was about it. X3, this was great. My mom had it for a really short time, so that was pretty cool. What else over here? The Isima got a massive boost in terms of RQ, but it's so bad now. It was so good back when it had like 115 MRA, but like terrible stats everywhere else. Now they made it a bit of like an all-rounder instead of a specialist, and it just doesn't get any use anymore. Let me know down in the comments below if you use that. This is a relatively new project as well, the Citroen C Elise. As you know, I made a whole video about how the front-wheel drive niche is a sleeper niche if it comes to just, you know, grinding and making good cash. This is one of the reasons why the Camaro ZL1 is useless now, because the Camaro SSX is just better in every way. What else is pretty good? We've got a couple of BMWs over here. We've got the Bentley Continental, one of those other goated cars that won me the Bugatti Chiron Sport. So this got a lot of races for me done, right? 2,000 races. This was 233, 1,266 races. I use it time here and there, you know, time to time, not that much. All right, what else do we have over here? Porsche 911 Speedster, one of those cars where, you know, if I was ranting about the boss challenges, this would be it. This car was, if I remember correctly, never eligible for any boss challenge, any boss special tag challenge, you know, and it pisses me off. We see Audis all the freaking time, but we never get to use the fun stuff. This is a great photo, a wonderful car. I love the Speedster. It is gorgeous. 3-2-100. I mean, this is a car that I just love. I pulled it multiple times. Win ratio isn't the highest thing in the world, but look at it. Look at it. It's so nice. It's also red, so I'm biased that way. But yeah, it's just a beautiful car. This one was a little bit of a misstep. I thought it was going to be very useful. I maxed it out with tokens, like straight away, quick max of tokens. Yeah, I don't use it that much, unfortunately. Yeah, 93 races. That's about it. Little bit of a mishap on that one. Kind of wish I didn't upgrade that with tokens, but I made some good decisions, and you will see them later as well. Charger juice. Yep, it used to be 70, moved up to 75. I don't know why. I'd rather use a Hellcat if we're talking about high RQ epics. This one I also fully upgraded with tokens. This one was very useful. Very, very good. A great handling American off-roader. Not a lot of those going around unless you want to max a Borrego, and who would want to do that because that's a legendary now. Good one, honestly. 482 races, 80% win ratio. 482, and how many races do you have? 93. Both of these cars I maxed at the same time with my tokens, and I've used one like 8 times more. It's crazy. Yeah, we don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about that one. Cube. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that one either. Actually, I don't want to talk about any of the Audis. Whatever Audi you see here, you know that I didn't want to max it because I wanted to max it. You know what I mean? It was because I was forced to. The only Audi that I actually fully upgraded that, you know, I wasn't forced to fully upgrade are the ones that are not 4-wheel drive. The front-wheel drive one, only one of them, and the rear-wheel drive ones, the R8s, and that's all. Porsche 911 RSR, again, one of those cars that never had, if I remember correctly, a special tag challenge. It was never included in the special tag challenge, which sucks. This car is sick. So cool. So cool. But yeah, very, very nice one. Honestly, the MR in this thing isn't great, but like, it's just, I love it. It's such a sick car. This one too, 254, amazing. But this one wasn't a special, I think it was in Tumas. Then we have the Hellcat collection, obviously, very, very old collection. What else is in here? We got the Caterham CSR. Yeah, it was like the best slalom car in the game at one point for epics and below, so that was why I fully upgraded that. The BMW Jare. Oh, the CC100, one of the best great exhibition epics of its time. Really, really happy that I got the use out of it while I could. Aerial Nomad, fantastic thing. This is one of those cars where, like, in the beginning, when it first came out, I was like, wow, this thing is terrible. It's so bad. I think a lot of people agreed. They were like, this thing is terrible. But the problem was, just like that Alpine A110, we're just using it in the wrong place. This is not an off-road tire car. This is not used. I mean, it is off-road. It says it has off-road tires, but it's not meant for the off-road, right? It's a guy that was born in the wrong place. You know, we got to use him in the right places. You know, British requirements, city streets, this thing is so damn good, and I can only feel bad for the guys that went 323 on this machine, because 233 is the way to go. This is a dry car, and like, yeah, it's just an added bonus that it won't DNF in the dirt, but that's really not where you want to put it. It really isn't a dirt kind of car, unless it's rallycross, like small, you know. But yeah, and not the wet one, the dry one. But yeah, this is an asphalt car. This is a city streets car. It's great for, you know, those scenarios. I think most of the cars that you see here are gonna be really good. Honestly, even the Lamborghini Murcielago, I'm kind of happy fully upgrading. I maxed this in the plane. It was on the way to Japan. It was one of the few, I think I maxed like 3 or 4 epics while I was in Japan. This was the first one. It was great. I honestly like it. You know, like, I do like Murcielagos. I think that they're very cool. I just don't like the legendary ones because they're useless in the game. But if I see a Murcielago in real life, you damn well know I'm gonna run up to it and take a photo. Like, these are cool. I honestly think that Huracans and Aventadors, I don't like Huracans and Aventadors mainly because they become so mainstream, right? They become so, like, it's so easy to buy. You know, any person that just gets rich, any kind of influencer that has a little bit of spare change is gonna get a Huracan. Look at Mr. Beast, for example. Every time he gives away a Lamborghini, it's always a Huracan. And it's so annoying. It's become such a basic car. I don't like it. But the Murcielago, you know, the Murcielago was a Lamborghini that came around before influencers were a thing. So, you know, not everybody bought it. And honestly, I think it's a little bit of a classic now. It's a very cool car. I think the Murcielagos are sick. This one's a little bit of a unicorn car, right? Like, not a lot of people own the M4 GTS is a pretty cool one. 2,167 days ago. Honestly, one of the few Audis I like, the Audi RS6 Avant. I mean, I like any RS6, to be honest, so that's always great. Got a bunch of G80s. I really wanted the legendary G80s, never got any of them, but we did get the epic G80, so I'm cool with that. You know, I just want a G80, so that's pretty nice. We got the butt. Honestly, we pulled this in February. still the best Epic I've pulled all year. We're in August right now. It is the best Epic that we have pulled all year. Yet we've not pulled many Epics that are above RQ75 for my openings, but this is one of them, and I love it. This is like one of the, it's probably the best card that we've unpacked the entire year. So we can thank Val, thank Wyatt for that. Moab, yeah, it was useful for like one kind of special tag challenge, I think it was, but that was it. No, it wasn't. It wasn't useful. Was it the 3 mil? Was it the 3 mil event? It was useful for a very, very big event. I can't remember what it was, but you know what? Because of that, I honor it. It is a good one. Double Cyclone, double Ice, quad Chargers Max, love that. We're moving on to the upper echelon of stuff here. The Resvanis, I hate them. They're so useless. I maxed them all out for a tri-series, and you never use them ever again. Why? Because they're Resvanis. You're never going to get a Resvani event. If you want to use an American drag car, just use a Dodge, for crying out loud, right? So, the Resvani Beast Alpha X, though, is really, really good on the fast circuit. They're not terrible. They're not useless, right? You just gotta know when to use them. But yeah, it's just, you know, the opportunities to use them are very, 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 very thin. Huracan LP 580, this thing's great. I love it. I love it. You know, any rear-wheel drive Lamborghini is great. KTM Expo is wonderful. Here you go. These are the Dodges that matter. The wide bodies and the red eyes. You know, these are fantastic. The jailbreak, the super stock, these are the ones that matter. Unfortunately, those American Dream Dodges, they're the same RQ, or almost the same, 78. You know, use one more, spend one more RQ, and you're getting cars that are infinitely better in every place. So these are the ones that you really want to use. I love this. This little thing right here, this is my magnum opus, okay? Very, very happy. I really hope they don't go up to Legendary. Please, please, for the love of God, do not go up to Legendary. They don't deserve to be Legend, okay? They don't deserve to be Legend. But you never know. In Robin's wondrous world, he might see these as RQ80s and 81s. They don't deserve to be there, man. They don't, okay? Keep them as epics. And then, yeah, we round it all off with some of these ones. This was a great little investment. Also max it up with tokens, and I've gotten a lot of use out of it, right? 228 races, 266 days, 85% win ratio, a great little dragster, you know? There are not a lot of cars from the 1960s, and this one just gets the job done. The Camaro Z01LE as well, my most wanted prize car, this along with the MA GTE, right? So I'm so glad that I have both of them now. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed having a look through my epic collection. I hope you guys remember to have a great day and stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville
Atlantic.
Blonde hair, don't care, look like Leslie Brooks.